Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the channel. You know, we are in a society that glorifies and worships the wisdom of the mind and disregards the wisdom of the heart, the deep intuition, the instinctual, the connection to the divine. You know, we are multifaceted in our intelligence. Intelligence isn't, am I scoring high in the IQ test? Intelligence encapsulates the fullness of who we are through accessing all of those portals. And one of my favorite questions I get is, how do I know the difference between my intuition and fear, my intuition and something else? And I love this question because when you know how to answer this for yourself specifically, you can navigate life in a whole new way. And you're going to save yourself lots of pain, and you're going to be guided to the magic and the things in your life that your heart wants to connect with. Intuition, oh my God, it's that inner magnet that's listening to the compass, right? It's pulling you in your true north. And I just want to go through a list of kind of helping you understand intuition versus all the other stuff. So the first thing I want to say is intuition is not instinct. Intuition, this is the biggest thing you'll ever understand about intuition. Intuition is not here to keep you alive. Instinct is. So intuition will never feel urgent. Intuition is here to help you thrive, expand, manifest, and experience. Your instincts are here to keep you alive. So if it feels like it's trying to keep you alive, it's trying to help you navigate away from danger, it might be fear, it might be instinctual, but it's not intuition. Intuition feels a little bit different for everyone, but there's a core quality to it where it is very steady. It's this feeling, it's just like this continual feeling, and it stays steady like this. It usually doesn't get really big and small and big and small, or go all over the place, and it usually doesn't harass you. It just gently, it's always there. You go, oh, that feeling's still there, that sensation, that pull. There's a magnetism to intuition, like whatever you've been dreaming up is now awake and calling you to it, and that magnet is like, the best way I can describe it is when I went to Morocco. I didn't know I was going to Morocco. I went there alone. I ended up out in the middle of nowhere with people that only spoke not even Arabic, which I knew a little bit of. They spoke Berber. I was in the middle of nowhere, going down these dusty roads, 70 miles an hour with people in full garb, and I'm sitting there, like, oh my God, I'm in this crazy place. I was drawn there through my intuition. There was no logic in my mind of why I was going to Morocco. It was just this feeling. I get it in my solar plexus. It's just like, a lot of times what is intuitive isn't going to be logical, because intuition is helping you bypass all those details and steps that logic would have you take. Ooh, that's a really good way to say it. Instinct is helping you bypass all the little logical steps that you think you need to take. You think you need to work hard. You think you need to figure this out. You think in order to have a certain kind of experience, you need to go to a certain kind of place, and you got to make sure it's like going to be safe and just right and blah, blah, blah. I talked to people and they were like, don't go to Morocco as a woman alone. Just don't. And something inside me just kept being like, is a feeling, is a sensation that kept alerting me to this place. And I went and I had like the most incredible experience, and it reawoke me to aspects of myself, and it just felt like I want to cry when I think about it. It made no sense, but it made all the sense in the world when I was in the experience. And that's how intuition feels. It is a magnetic pull. It's not going to jab at you or be like fear-provoking. It's not going to try to save your life. It's going to guide you to what your heart has been calling in. My heart was calling in that experience like nobody's business. You know, the wild, I rode horses across the desert for 8 days, and oh my God, it was just, you know, nobody spoke English, but we all connected through the heart and presence, and I just felt so loved and seen, and I saw these people, and I've had experiences like that in my life where it's like the first time I went to Barcelona, I was like, I don't know why I need to go there, and I went there and I saw the Sagrada Familia, and I have no interest in architecture, but Gaudi moved me to tears, man. It's just like totally unexpected, right? Like, I'm not an architecture person. Why would I be moved by this? But I saw the structures he built, and they reminded me that there's a place in the world for people who have big, bold visions that no one else understands. There's a place in the world for that level of strange and, you know, off the beaten path whimsy and beauty, and my heart needed to remember that and see that and witness that, and that's where our intuition takes us. It takes us to beautiful places that our minds haven't figured out yet. It takes us to beautiful people that we didn't even think up because we weren't even aware of what we really needed. It's taken me to the beach on certain days, to certain little spots where I connected and met with people or had an experience with, you know, dolphins or animals that I needed. My soul needed that moment and had been calling it in, and my brain could not guide me there. My fear could not guide me there. You know, and there is a big difference between instinct and fear and intuition. Intuition is that, man. It just stays steady until you follow the course. There's that steady, you've all got that steady something inside you that's been saying, try this, do this, talk to this person, explore this, take this class, you know, connect with that person. We've all got those steady things, but they don't feel, if it's intuition, it doesn't feel like it stresses you out that it's consistent. It feels more like it's this thing that you kind of want to surrender to, but you can't figure it out. You don't know the how, the when, the where, the why. You just kind of have to follow that push in whatever way it tells you to. So it's steady, and it's not gonna try to save your life. It's gonna help you expand and connect into your manifestations and your dreams and your experiences. It's gonna help you really have experiences. Instinct is going to, on the lighter side, it's going to connect you into your true animal nature. We're animals, you guys. We're living things. It's going to connect you to the earth and your blood and your bones and nature and everything around you. But it's also going to connect you into how to continue living in this big world with all its variables in it. But when our nervous systems are fritzed, the instinct becomes fearful, and, you know, we get OCD and we have to turn lights on and off because we think, okay, this will give me control. Or we we shy away from things that start to feel like real bonds and connections because that hurt us in the past. Something hurt us within the past, so we sabotage. That's the instinct saying, no, that wasn't safe for you. But it's instinct confused, which becomes fear. So if you're continuing to shy away from or do things that stress you out, if you've got OCD, that's your instincts on the fritz, man. It's trying to keep you alive, right? Like, if I do this, I'll stay alive. If I do this, nothing bad will happen. But your instinctual nature is more about primal connection, knowing, and interconnectedness with all life, and a realization of your own body and your own physical impermanence, and your connection to life cycles, life, death, devour and be devoured. I was dry brushing this morning in the bathroom, and a little bug crawled up, and he was at the end of his life, and he just crawled up in front of me and collapsed. And then all these ants came out of nowhere, and I watched them devour this bug over the course of maybe less than 10 minutes. I was dry brushing, I was just watching, and I was thinking, this is life. A lot of people try to be breatharians or vegans or this or that and say, I am separate from, the life cycle of devouring and being devoured and this physical plane, and I'm this and I'm that. And however you want to eat for you is actually great, but we are part of this cycle. So that's instinctual. Anyway, they ate the bug. In 10 minutes, he was gone. And it's so funny because I see this all the time. I see the way that we step away from our instincts and we make life harder for ourselves. So if I was out of my instincts in that moment, I would smash that bug and remove it. But I was in my instincts. I was watching. It came to die at my altar. And, I was sitting there dry brushing like a goddess, and it just laid down its life. And the ants took care of it. Nature took care of it. A lot of times when we stay out of the way, do no harm, but also try not to interfere. That devouring is a cleaning up process and a renewing process. It was so clean. I was like, wow, there was not a single speck left. And then the ants left and they did their thing. And instinct, man. Instinct is being connected into life like that. And it's here to, connection is something that keeps us alive. It's not just fear, it's not just vigilance, but true connection to ourselves, to everything around us, not being in battle with everything around us all the time. That keeps us connected to our instincts, the positive side, the more beneficial side of our instincts. So your instincts are important, and they're completely different from your intuition. Instincts are keeping you alive and connected to all life, and intuition is helping you expand and manifest and, really bypass the linear thoughts of the mind. Because the mind wants to say, well, if you want to experience this, you have to do this, 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 and this. If you want to get a man, you need to get into great shape. You probably need to go get that lip filler because everyone else is doing it. And then you need to move somewhere where the ratio of men to women is this and blah, 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 right? The brain wants to figure out how to do something. The intuition says, oh, you want to meet the love of your life? Okay. I'm gonna pull you to this weird place you never thought you'd go to before, and we're gonna bypass all the things you thought you had to do, and it's gonna be yours. You're gonna come right into harmony with it. So intuition is spectacular, and it helps us stop thinking in circles and stop efforting and handling all the details, because we're not put here for that. We're put here to listen to what we're magnetically pulled towards. You know, there's no glory in running in circles or being anxious or worrying about what everyone else thinks of, you know, what you need to do or should be doing. There's no glory in that, and there's no benefit to anyone else of you doing that. The real benefits that people are going to gain from you is when you follow your true north. And I think there are people that might be a little bit impulsive that are like, I still don't know. Go back to that gentle magnetic pull. It's completely different from impulsivity. Your intuition is never going to rush you. It's going to stay so steady and consistent that you know exactly the timing. You're just going to go, okay, when I surrender, I get pushed this way. You know, you could find yourself surrendering and just, I'm just going on to this website and buying this plane ticket. I'm using that as an example. Instead of, okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, here's what I need to do. I'll get the plane ticket. I'll do this. Okay. That's like that impulsivity. And, you know, impulsivity can be great, but we're talking about intuition here. We're talking about knowing when it's intuition and knowing when it's not. Intuition will not rush you. It's not going to hustle you. It's not going to make you do anything right away. And it's not going to feel like impulsivity. It's going to feel like I just let go from the shoreline I was hanging on to, and now I'm floating. So it's a fun, exciting feeling with no fear or urgency in it. And you know, like when I was going to Morocco, I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But there was definitely anticipation and the unknown, but it wasn't like, oh man, what am I doing? It was, what am I doing? I'm letting go. And I know that you know there's some places you need to let go. And it can be scary for the moment, but the actual experience after you let go, that's when the ease comes in. It's like, imagine yourself clinging to a riverbank and your nails are gripping in and there's dirt and mud and you're trying to cling to this riverbank, but you're like, I'm so scared to let go. But the moment you let go, you feel that water carry you. And that's such a good analogy. My guides always bring it through, and then I'm like, oh yeah, clever. That's a great analogy for how intuition feels. Imagine yourself clinging to the riverbank and feeling that steady pull of the river. It's trying to pull you. It's trying to pull you. It's trying to pull you. And the moment you let go of what you were stubbornly clinging onto, and a lot of times intuition does ask us to let go of what we're stubbornly clinging onto, because our brain tells us, oh, we gotta cling to this to make this happen and please this person or do that. But intuition would never. And intuition doesn't care about what other people think. It's here for the highest good, the highest joy of all. Not to please or placate anyone's egos, not mom's, dad's, grandpa's, your friends, nobody's. It's here for that heart explosion, the aliveness, the really, really good stuff. So, if you have any questions, if there's anything I didn't answer, go ahead and ask in the comments below, or share your experience and how would you describe intuition. And I've also got my highly sensitive persons course, which touches on this intuition piece big time, linked in the description below. And you guys know, if you want to work with me, I have a waiting list on my website too. So Go be intuitive, go be connected to all that you are, and see